Hey everyone. I wanted to talk today a little bit about our last formal essay project, which is going to be our definition essay here. Getting started, we want to think about what a definition is. Never mind the essay stuff, never mind your thesis, anything like that. Let's just think about what a definition in and of itself is. So, first off, we want to think about definition as the act of making something clear based on its characteristics. What is the thing? So, we have a couple of different types we want to be aware of, and first of these is the formal. Formal definition is going to be a dictionary style definition. These are problematic for what we're doing mainly because they're brief, they're not arguable. We remember that for this class, for basically any type of academic writing, arguability is a big thing, so we want to avoid any kind of formal definitions. So instead, what we're focusing on here is what we're going to call a personal or academic definition. These are a good thing. So a personal or academic definition is a type of argument that describes what something is based on your own personal criteria. So if it sounds opinion-based, in a way it actually is, and we'll talk about how that works in a little bit, but some things to keep in mind is that a personal or academic definition is going to be extended, and more importantly, it's going to be arguable. That's a big thing. Now, we want to think about what we can define. We remember that the point of any kind of academic definition is to explain to the reader what something is. So we can think about what a subject is to you. This is the important part. This is going to be largely opinion-based. If we remember from earlier in the semester, we remember that argument really is nothing more than opinion with good reason. So we want to think about it like that. I'm making a mess of this. So there's a couple of things that we can define which will be pretty helpful for us. First off, we don't want to spend any time trying to define anything that can be easily expressed in just a few words. That's a bad thing. We don't want that. So instead, we're going to focus on things like an abstract concept. Things like what is love, what is morality, what is patriotism, equality, gender, so on. So we think about things like that, everyone is going to have a very different answer about what that thing is. So one thing to keep in mind as well is that these are not physical objects we're dealing with, so we're all going to perceive them a little bit differently. So other things we can define, controversial terms. Things like environmentalism, police brutality, pro-choice, pro-life, terrorism. These are all things that are very, very hotly debated. No one has a clear idea of what these things are, and we all have our own opinions about them. So these are all concepts that indicate behaviors and ideals, but what these behaviors are and should be are very different. So other things too, and this is going to be I'd say a little more clear-cut, a little more simple, are conditions of common subjects. These are things like the best and the worst, things like more or less, perfect and imperfect, these kinds of things. These are largely opinion-based, so we have to set some kind of criteria for defining these subjects. So a definer's goal is that we have to take these criteria, what we think something is, and then make it clear for the reader.